Hey, this is Jeff Baird from arisefromthedust.com. Today we're going to look at some videos showing examples of microexpressions, and we're going to take a little break from looking at political videos. One place that I've found that's a target-rich environment for expressions and microexpressions is athletic events. It's a little bit more fun of an environment, but the emotions are very, very high. So you can see a lot of different kinds of emotions and see good examples of it. What I want to show today is some examples of microexpressions. A microexpression is a brief, less than a second, involuntary, subtle expression in the face. And so since it's involuntary, we aren't necessarily conscious that we're doing it, but it can give you a clue as to what someone's really feeling. But the catch is since it's so subtle and so brief, that you really have to know what to look for and be paying attention, or you might miss it. So let's look at a few examples from some professional athletes and see what we can see. I'm going to show you the video first, and then we'll go back and I'll tell you what microexpression I saw. Now this one is an athlete talking about how he feels about second place versus first.
You don't train to picture yourself on second place in the podium. Second place sucks.
Okay, so did you notice any brief expressions there? Let's
Train to picture yourself on second place in the podium. Second place sucks.
Okay, there was a real quick expression there. Okay, here's a freeze frame of it. Now the telltale signs here, what expression this is looking for crinkles in the nose and for the tops of his teeth showing the upper lip starts to go up. This is a face you might see on someone if they smelled something really bad. This is a microexpression of disgust. So you'll see this in somebody when they're feeling disgust towards somebody or something. Now in this context, it's not really surprising. He's saying, no, second place sucks. I don't want to be in second place. He's disgusted by that concept. So there's no earth-shattering revelation here. But if you have somebody saying that they're perfectly fine, that they really like somebody, or they really like something that you brought up at work, but then you see them flash this microexpression, then they may not be telling you the complete truth. They may not actually like the idea. Okay, one more time now that you know what
Sucks. You don't train to picture yourself on second place in the podium. Second place sucks.
Super quick, but super powerful if you can spot it. One of the things that I thought was funny is that microexpression seems to be one of the more common ones in a lot of these athletic events. Let's look at another one.
A big left after hitting her first.
Didn't actually go as I expected, so I'm disappointed in this one.
There, once again, just real brief, but you see the nose crinkle and the lip go up just a bit.
Didn't go as I expected, so I'm disappointed in this one.
And it fits the context. She's disappointed about missing the lift.
The night before, I had a couple guys outside, and they...
Now, how does she feel about those guys? She said there was a couple guys outside. Does it look like she's happy with the guys, or maybe doesn't like them?
They were pretending. The night before, I had a couple guys...
There's a freeze frame. Now, we can... One of the key things with reading body language is to try to find... There's no Pinocchio's nose. It doesn't always... One cue doesn't always mean the same thing. So a couple of things we want to keep in mind is whenever possible to try to find clusters of cues that are all trending the same direction, and at the same time considering context to increase the likelihood that what you're reading and interpreting is correct. So this is just one cue. We could ask some additional questions if we're in this setting and see if we could find out what she's really feeling. But here's one cue that she didn't think very much of those boys that she was meeting. One more of the disgust microexpression. This athlete is relatively smaller compared to the other athletes, and somebody asked him if that's going to be an issue.
Is your size going to be a limitation?
This year, probably a little bit. Next year, I don't plan on it.
Is going to be a limitation?
This year, probably a little bit. Next year, I don't plan on it being as much of a limitation. This year.
There. Crinkles in the nose and the lip going up. One other thing too, though, is he also has these vertical lines in his between his eyebrows. Oftentimes that indicates anger. So this could be disgust or anger. According to Paul Ekman, he's the guru of microexpressions that Lie to Me was loosely based on, and who went around the world studying these expressions and found them to be universal. Now he says that you won't have two microexpressions simultaneously. So this is either anger or disgust, but probably not both simultaneously. He said you could have one expression quickly followed by another in rapid succession. So, but my initial guess on this is that he's disgusted. Maybe he's getting tired of this subject coming up. Okay, so that's just one of 7 of the universal microexpressions. I'll show you one other one, and then I'll stop this video. Here's another athlete that was...
And we'd be one long stream.
He was talking about a reporter, and let's see what kind of feelings he might have towards the reporter.
These guys were giving me lessons on interviewing earlier. The last guy was here, and who was it? Was it Ian? Lessons on interviewing earlier. The last guy was here, and these guys were giving me lessons on interviewing earlier.
So what we see here in this expression, and it was really brief, you had to watch to catch it, but you see an asymmetrical smile, or one side of his mouth going up higher than the other. This is a feeling of contempt or a feeling of superiority. So once again, we get a little clue as to the emotions that he may not be obviously expressing, but he's got some hidden contempt or superiority towards this reporter that he was talking about. This is a super powerful microexpression. John Gottman, who was doing a bunch of studies on marriages and on what leads to successful marriages versus divorce, he found that with about 93% accuracy, he can predict if a couple is going to get divorced if he sees this contempt microexpression on one of their faces. So super powerful. If you can learn to spot these things, then you can have a better understanding of what people are really feeling and be able to connect with them and communicate with them on a higher level. So those are the only 2 I'm going to go over today. But there are 7, and if you want to learn how to recognize and spot the other microexpressions that are out there, such as fear, sadness, happiness, then visit us at arisefromthedust.com, and please subscribe to my videos, and I'll upload more fun examples for you.